This video was sponsored by Deadpool Wade Wilson, played by Ryan Reynolds for Deadpool 2. Okay, not really, but I had to do that. Anyways, so I had seen Deadpool 2. A lot of things were writing on the sequel, in my opinion. Like, you're going to make like this movie, while it is a quote superhero movie, it's mostly this big humor movie, and and a lot of people were having huge anticipation for it to build this up because, well, you made one successful Deadpool movie after the horrible disaster that was X-Men Origins Wolverine's version of Deadpool, which gets addressed in this movie. I'll get to that at the end. So, yeah. When they finally got Deadpool right, everyone was thinking like, okay, well, the sequel's happening. It was announced right before before the film would be released, and yeah, and they had brought back the original creative team, and it turns out that the director of Tim Miller left because of creative differences a few months later. So he was replaced with David Leitch. Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool is freaking awesome, as always. Well, excluding that other one. And also, Josh Brolin plays Cable, a.k.a. Thanos. Yeah, Thanos is in Deadpool 2, so to speak, in a metaphorical perspective. When you think, oh wait, Josh Brolin, who plays Thanos, is playing Cable. So that clearly means there's going to be an in-joke where they're going to mention Thanos to an extent. And of course, Deadpool does do that when he calls Cable, okay, listen here, Thanos. And Cable was like, oh god. So, yeah, and once again, Cable was awesome in this movie, according to all the critics and whatnot. So he has two major performances as two powerful beings in the Marvel universes. At least until Deadpool 2 is horribly bastardized by Disney, but we don't know about that yet. So, yeah, anyways. During filming, it was on August 14th, 2017, there was an incident where this stunt woman died in a motorcycle accident, and I was looking that up when I had seen it was dedicated in her memory. So I was like, okay, that's kind of classy. That's classy. Respect. And a lot of people were saying that this was better than the first movie, and here's the thing. There was some stereotyping in people's opinion and a feeling of cynicism. Except, okay, the stereotyping, it's Deadpool. You really think Deadpool's not going to make racist stereotype remarks? Like, it's Deadpool. Like, he breaks the fourth wall every single second of the day. He breaks the fourth wall so much that you can literally see 8 walls get broken in pieces, like, the second he starts bringing stuff up that shouldn't be brought up. And then, and like, the point of having a cynicism to it, especially the legitimate reason for it, because, you know, Vanessa get killed off in this movie. Yeah, they kill off in like the first 10 minutes. And I was like, oh, so that's where the song come from, Ashes. Yeah, Celine Dion actually sings a song called Ashes, which weirdly came out after Infinity War came out. And considering how that movie ended, it was like, is this a joke? Is this Deadpool's greatest joke? That they're making fun and they freaking called Thanos winning, and how can beauty be made from ashes? Like, yeah, 16 characters from the Avengers universe is dead. I counted, so yes, I am that demented. And, of course, Wade Wilson kills the man in revenge, and he blames himself for his death, and actually attempts to commit suicide 6 weeks later by blowing himself up, which begs the question, what was he doing in between those 6 weeks? Oh, and he also mentions Logan. A lot. Sad. So, yeah, I did like how they bring it back some continuity regarding the skee ball token as the anniversary gift of their first meeting together. And yeah, this movie seems to be more like trying to say something about family and whatnot. Like, there's Russell Collins' Fire Fist, where he develops a bond, so to speak. He's got Colossus, Negasonic, Teenage Warhead, and yeah, and all this chaos and whatnot. Deadpool doing this routing speech, even though then he just starts shooting people in the head, because it turns out that Fire Fist is horrendously abused by the orphanage staff, labeled a mutant re-education center. Basically means a torture place. Yeah. Yeah, that seems to be a lot in fictional stuff. I don't know if that's in real life. That could be wrong. But anyways. Colossus stops him, and then Deadpool tries to say that even trying to do the right thing, you're probably gonna have to get your hands dirty, and yeah, he's kind of right on that. Yeah, it's good to try and find the moral high ground system here, but there's gonna have to be a point where you're gonna be push comes to shove, and it's gonna have to get a little ugly. Yeah, and then they're both arrested and restrained with collars that negate their powers, and they are taken to the Icebox, an isolated prison for mutant criminals. Meanwhile, a cybernetic soldier from the future, Cable, whose family is revealed to have been murdered by Collins, travels back in time to kill the boy before Collins ever becomes the killer. Yeah. Sure enough, anarchy ensues when Cable breaks into the icebox and kicks everybody's asses while Wade Wilson's trying his best to die. Yeah, he keeps trying to get himself killed. And basically Vanessa's trying to convince him to help Collins. And Wilson agrees to organize a team of mutants he calls the X-Force, doing the Wakanda pose. Or the salute. Anyways. And yeah, the auditions were hilarious. Yeah, that was hilarious. And also we got I had remembered. Wait, T.J. Miller. Where have I heard that name before? And then I looked it up and I was like, oh. So I was like, okay, this guy was Gene from the Emoji Movie. So Cable, get to torturing. We're all for it. I'm all for it. If it involves getting the guy for being part of the horrendous movie that Sony believed was a great idea, I highly doubt that. It's just for money. But I still will maintain the fact that the own must pay. Okay, I'm probably exaggerating, but still, no one likes that movie. I don't. Not a lot of people like that movie. Maybe little kids, but yeah. But anyways, also, yeah, he forms the X-Force, and all of them are dead except for Deadpool and Domino, who's apparently very lucky. Yeah, everyone else gets killed. Oh, we also saw Brad Pitt, who was originally supposed to play Cable. Also, I forgot to mention, when Deadpool was in the X-Men mansion for a while as his form of healing, he knocks into a statue of Stan Lee, as it was confirmed, because Stan Lee couldn't make it to the to do the cameo as he usually does. And we see the X-Men. Yeah, we see the X-Men from the new trilogy of the Apocalypse trilogy of Days of Apocalypse film. Yeah, there's a problem with that. I have a little bit of a problem with that. It's okay. Here's the thing. I don't really like that idea. It's not that it doesn't work. It probably could, and it was probably a good cameo, probably a joke cameo at best. But when you establish that, well, Deadpool says in the first movie, Patrick Stewart or James McAvoy, and you're confirming that, yes, James McAvoy, it's like, Wait, I know this is Deadpool, but yeah, considering what he does in the mid-credit scenes, he kind of killed himself. If you're really thinking this, so yeah, they could, like a lot of people were saying this, like it completely destroys the entire X-Men timeline, which was barely hanging on by a thread. Like I don't even know what timeline this is in. Like it's clearly saying that this is in the rebooted timeline, but at the same time, like wait, but the X-Men are still here. James McAvoy is still here. Not Patrick Stewart. And Logan and Deadpool keeps talking about how Logan's dead. I know I'm trying to make sense of this, but there has to be some degree of logic in this madness. But yeah, I'm just like confused. Also, in these sequences, we see that Fire Fist is going ahead and befriending an unknown character, a giant, and it was awesome when we found out who it was. And the team, after the pair of Domino and Wilson fight Cable, Collins frees fellow inmate, and it's revealed that the unknown prisoner was the Juggernaut, who repays Collins by agreeing to help him kill the abusive orphanage headmaster. The Juggernaut then splits Deadpool in half and destroys the truck, and he and Collins are in the escape. Which was a freaking awesome sequence. Also, here's the fun fact regarding the Juggernaut. Ryan Reynolds also provides the voice for the Juggernaut. And the Juggernaut was previously portrayed by Vinnie Jones in X-Men The Last Stand, but according to the writer, the creative team on Deadpool 2 felt that the appearance did not do the justice to the character. Wanting additional villains to support Fire Fist in the final fight with the X-Force, the writers considered Juggernaut because he is a force of nature who is probably the coolest character never to be used as of yet in the right way. Ryan Reynolds provided a motion capture performance for the character's face, and his voice was digitally modulated to make it deeper. Reese added that the character didn't have many lines. He's a man of a few words, but he's a man of great anger and forcefulness. Yes. And here's the thing. I know I'm going to sound crazy, but while I do say that Venom was the thing that kind of got me completely invested with the comic book movies and eventually comics because I wanted to see more of Venom, I did like the Juggernaut at a close second. Yeah, the Juggernaut was a close second for me. Like, I just like this intimidation factor, and it's just so freaking awesome. And plus, I did like the name Juggernaut. In the occasional fighting games that I was able to play back then, I always try to play the Juggernaut because Venom does not exist in certain X-Men games. So, anyways, Collins decides he's gonna kill the orphanage headmaster, and it's revealed that once he kills him, he's gonna go down this dark path. Which obviously means that he will go to the dark side. Then Cable comes after Deadpool's recovering with baby legs and grotesque imagery. Cable offers to work with Wilson and Domino to stop Collins' first kill, which will lead to more. He agrees to give Wilson a chance to talk Collins down before attempting to kill the boy again. They arrive to the orphanage after Deadpool tries to get Colossus to team up with him. Yeah. And yeah, it was hilarious. Like, Deadpool is just so freaking awesome. And anyways, Colossus in the Juggernaut fight, which was awesome. Wilson and Cable confront Collins after. So, like, Collins looks like he's trying to be redeemed, but he looks like he's crossing more to the dark side, believing he can't trust anybody besides the Juggernaut. And then after Deadpool had activated the collar around his neck. Cable shoots the young mutant, and Deadpool leaps in the front of the bullet and dies, reuniting with Vanessa in the afterlife. So, seeing this sacrifice, Collins does not kill the headmaster, and this also alters the future in which Cable's family survives. And Cable uses the last charge of his time-traveling device, which he needed for return to his family, to go back several minutes and strap Vanessa's token in front of Wilson's heart before they arrive at the orphanage. This time when Wilson leaps in front of the bullet, it is stopped by the token and he survives, much to Deadpool's dismay. Collins still has his change of heart, and while the headmaster is run over by Deadpool's taxi driver friend, which was freaking awesome. Yeah, I know this video is much shorter than my usual video discussions. I think it's because since this movie is much shorter compared to the Avengers, and there's much more to talk about, and these movies try to be more self-contained, and the fact that if I wanted to go into complete detail, it would be very, very rated R. Yeah. So, yeah, the headmaster goes in and rants some more about how mutants are evil! And then he is run over by Deadpool's friend of the taxi. I don't even remember the guy's name. So this is when Deadpool basically goes, okay, so remember how there's a comic, I believe, where it's called Deadpool Destroys the Marvel Universe? Well, we get a 2 minutes compilation of that, in my opinion. After Negasonic Teenage Warhead and her girlfriend Yuko repair Cable's time-traveling device for Deadpool, without telling Cable, he uses it to save the lives of Vanessa and the X-Force member Peter. Then he kills X-Men Origins version of Deadpool. And then he kills Ryan Reynolds while he's considering starring in the film Green Lantern. Okay, you see, that's the part I had a problem with. It's funny, but it breaks everything. If once they can't really go with Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool are two different people and they exist in the same universe. That wouldn't work because, one, DC fans would be pissed off. So the only logical explanation is that he went to another universe, basically our universe, killed Ryan Reynolds, and that's when the movie should have ended with him disappearing in his entire universe. Because, really, how do you get away with that? I'm trying to be reasonable and logic in a movie called Deadpool 2. But, yeah, it's just this, and also with his involvement in the X-Men Origin Wolverine, and we see Wolverine again, played by Hugh Jackman, but it's archival footage with Hugh Jackman's permission, which was fun to see, albeit no one wants to see X-Men Origins Wolverine. So to see that version of Deadpool be killed is really cathartic and very worthy for people. So, yeah, Ryan Reynolds being killed, doesn't that, like, erase him from existence? Like, I'm probably gonna make a huge reference, but Last Action Hero had this kind of plot, where the villain of the movie says he's going to kill Arnold Schwarzenegger, which will result in the destruction of his antagonist, who is also played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. So, yeah. So, yeah, and since they also say Vanessa, does that mean she's eventually going to become that mutant character that was... Like, okay, yeah, she's a mutant in the comics known as Copycat. And in the movie, she's human. So, and they have teased that they are somewhat considering future stories for this. It'd be interesting. And if they did have a child, it would probably be that kind of plot line. No idea. And the movie came out 2 days ago when I first saw this, and it's already earned $300 million on a $110 million budget. And it's only 2 hours. Yes. So, yeah, Deadpool 2 was awesome. It's just hilarious. Like, yeah, I wasn't really turned off by the whole, yeah. I wasn't really turned off by the whole cynicism part because, there's a reason why, and he does get better back at the end of all this. And Cable, yeah, I don't think you can write him in a overly cartoony way. And yeah. Also, Brolin is signed on to for a 4-film deal to play the character of Cable, so that's gonna be awesome. So, yeah. Also, I did like that line where Deadpool, after Cable shoots one of the prisoners, he says, "You killed Black Tom, you racist!" And I was like, yeah, considering how the media portrays the police, I think that might have come across as something. And considering Cable is a time-traveling cybernetic soldier, and a police is an officer of the law, so to speak, yeah, I think that might come across as uncomfortable. So, yeah. And, yeah. So, yeah, apparently, like, yeah. Oh, man. Like, okay, so Black Tom Cassidy was supposed to originally be one of the main antagonists who would have acted as the devil on Fire Fist's shoulder, but they felt like there were just too many antagonists in the film, and they rather spend money on the need to portray his abilities on the characters such as the Juggernaut. So it comes down to, we wanted the Juggernaut more. Yeah. So, yeah, I felt like Juggernaut was awesome. It would have been interesting to see Black Tom Cassidy be more portrayed as the devil's shoulder part. But would that make Deadpool an angel? Because that would be kind of weird. Very, very weird. Yeah, and Brad Pitt was supposed to play Cable, like I said, before scheduling issues prevented him from taking it. He did film his Vanisher cameo in 2 hours during post-production, which mostly involves him getting electrocuted. Yeah. Yeah. But to see the Apocalypse Saga version of the rebooted X-Men franchise characters of the X-Men, such as Professor X, Beast, Quicksilver, Cyclops, Storm, and Nightcrawler. And then you have X-Men Origins Wolverine. It's like, yeah, you've completely destroyed this timeline, because now, like, wait, which one's this and which one's that? And even Yoku, who is Negasonic Teenage Warhead's girlfriend in fellow X-Men, that character was seen back in the Wolverine in 2013. So, yeah, it's kind of grown complicated, hasn't it? It's gotten so complicated that they basically broke it. They broke the timeline. So this clearly is hinting that this saying that this takes place before the events of Logan that led to the destruction of mutants, clearly. But it kind of ruins several jokes when you realize that, yeah, unless Deadpool somehow is partially Ryan Reynolds reincarnated and with his memories. But yeah, I'm probably thinking too deeply into this, and I would be giving the movie too much credit for being commentary on something. But I'm just gonna say, yeah, Deadpool 2. So, yeah. So, those were my thoughts on Deadpool 2. This was Neo Reality Entertainment. If you like, comment, subscribe, and donate, stay tuned for more.